Okay. We should be streaming now. Shabbat Shalom if you're just joining us. We're having some technical difficulties. We're just going to do a quick check and make sure that our sound is coming through, and we'll begin our service. Again, apologies, but we'll begin in just a moment. Shabbat Shalom, Maya V'Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya V'Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya V'Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya V'Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya V'Hayom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. It is a beautiful Shabbat day. It was a beautiful day here, and we send you warm Shabbat greetings from our home to yours. We're glad you are joining us tonight. Although we deeply miss your presence, we hope that familiar words of our prayers, familiar melodies, and just knowing that we're joined together in our Temple Beth David community this evening to welcome in Shabbat. We hope that will bring you all some comfort, some strength, and some peace this evening. We're going to continue to welcome in Shabbat on page 24 if you have a Siddur with you or your electronic prayer book. Shalom Aleichem. We welcome the Shabbat messengers of peace, and maybe there's some Shabbat messengers near you. You can look out for them. You can be a messenger yourself to bring in Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyonim Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyonim Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyonim Melech, Malachi Hamachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Melech Malachi Hamachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Melech Malachi Hamachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyonim Melech, Malachi Hamachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Melech Malachi Hamachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Melech Malachi Hamachim,
We found a Shabbat messenger of peace here with us, our dog Iggy, who loves Shabbat. We're going to bring in the light of Shabbat on pages 2 and 3. We invite you to light Shabbat candles in your home. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal light of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter our home sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their heart. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We invite you to join us on page 20, L'chado D. We welcome the Shabbat bride, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. On that last verse, if you'd like, you can rise and face any door near you and welcome in Shabbat.
Shalom v'zachu b'dibur echad, Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Shem will teef, L'shem will tiferet v'litila, L'shem will tiferet v'litila, L'chadodi likrat kala, L'chadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat ne'ekad Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki mekor ha'beracha, me'osh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila, Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tefila, V'chadodi likrat kala, L'chadodi likrat B'nei Shabbat
Continue on page 28 with our call to prayer. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Page 30, our prayer for the evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhma poteach sha'arim uvitvuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or Umavir yom umevi layla umavdil ben yom uvein layla Adonai tzvaot shemo echad v'kayam Tamidim lo chalenu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv aravim. We invite you to join with us in the English on the top of page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. And that's page 40. We'll join in our song of the sea, our song of journeys and wanderings and hopes for promise ahead.
מי כמוך בעינים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, תורה תהילות ספר, תורה תהילות ספר, מלכותך Adonai noch le'olamai, Yadai, 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 Lai, 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 Yai, lai, lai, Yadai, lai, 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 Yadai, Yai, lai, lai,
ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We'll continue on page 42, Hashkivenu, as we pray for peaceful nights and days filled with blessing. Find the Hebrew in your Siddur. We're going to add a little English as well.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomrenu L'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomrenu L'chaim. wrath, your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. L'chaim. L'chaim.
Page 44. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. I invite you to rise if you would like, page 46 for our Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav L'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Mimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
I invite you to continue with your own silent prayer. Feel free to be seated when you're ready. We'll come back together for our prayer for peace. page 60. Please join with us.
Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon Lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon Lechol hashalom. Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We are going to take a moment for healing as especially we note more and more illness in our country, and as we face the unknown of the days ahead, we especially pray for all who are ill, especially our own loved ones and all who care for them. We are thinking of Colin Monroe, Jerry Seligman, Mary Lou Hole, Janet Watson, Paul Robillard, Elizabeth Hill, Kelso Silva, Enrico Mascaro, Deborah Booker, Dick Feibelman, Amy Seif, Robert Bloom, Annalie Stone, Rachel Bat Shulamit, Bernard Tarr, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Mateo Goldman, Judy Cook, Pruma Bat Harab Jacob Visonia, Jacob M., Dan Ruggiero, David Friedlander, Anna Friedlander, Harvey Grassfield, Toby Weiner. I invite you to name any other loved ones out loud or in your hearts, and we'll join together for Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu V'kol habracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor cradles healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. One of the most heart-wrenching scenes in all of literature comes from the novel Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. The scene takes place at mealtime in the oppressive orphanage where Oliver lives. Dickens depicts the scene as follows. The gruel was served out, and a long grace was said over the short commons. The gruel disappeared, and the boys whispered to each other and winked at Oliver, while his neighbors nudged him. Child as he was desperate with hunger and reckless with misery. He rose from the table and, advancing, basin and spoon in hand, to the master said, somewhat alarmed at his own temerity, "Please, sir, I want some more." The master was a fat, healthy man, but he turned very pale. "What?" he said. "Please, sir," replied Oliver, "I want some more." Oliver is literally starving. In reading this passage, the late great 19th century Zionist Zev Jabotinsky offered the following insight. He says, Oliver was not really asking for seconds or being greedy. Rather, Jabotinsky suggests that he was merely asking for his needs to be met. All he wanted was enough for a boy his age to be nourished. Oliver's plea for more was really a deeper question. Don't you have enough for me? Can't you see what I need? In our Torah portion this Shabbat Toldo, we find one of the most heart-wrenching scenes in the Torah. The twins Esau and Jacob, who struggled in Rebekah's womb, have reached maturity. With Rebekah's help, Jacob deceives his father Isaac, whose eyes are failing, and steals the blessing meant for Esau. Jacob dresses in Esau's clothing, puts on goat skins on his arms to resemble Esau's hairy body, and prepares goats as if they were venison, hunted by Esau. No sooner does Jacob leave with the pilfered blessing, Esau enters the room. Only the reader is privy to the hoax, but this facade soon fades. "Who are you?" Isaac asks Esau. "I am your son, your firstborn, Esau." The text states that Isaac began to shudder, and we shudder with him. "Who then hunted game and brought it to me, and I ate of it all before you came? I blessed him, and blessed he will remain." Esau gives full-throated voice to his anguish. The Torah says when Esau heard his father's words, he broke into an exceedingly loud and bitter howl and said to his father, "Bless me, me too, father." And Esau added, "Did you not reserve a blessing for me?" Isaac's response is not very satisfying. He tries to explain to Esau that the blessing has been bestowed, it cannot be undone. We can feel Esau's pain and rejection as he pleads again, "Do you have but one blessing, Father? Bless me too, Father, just with one blessing." In the end, Isaac blesses Esau too with the same prosperity that Jacob will attain, yet it is clear that the covenant will continue through Jacob. This episode always makes me profoundly sad when I read it. Esau's pain is real. The pain of not having enough is a real human condition of not quite getting what we need. The text also offers a challenge to us. Do we have enough? Do we have enough to give? Who is asking for our blessing? A midrash tells us that Esau shed 3 tears in that moment, one for each of the threefold descriptions of the ways that he cried out. I want to suggest 3 ways that we can understand what this text asks of us. First, this text asks us to look deeply at the interpersonal relationships in our lives. What blessings do our families seek from us? What do our children need to feel loved? What do our parents need to remind them that they matter? After a long day of work or school, after chores, after paying bills, what do we have left to give our spouses and partners? Just as we yearn for the blessings of love and kindness from those who are near to us, the text calls us to dig deep and reserve blessing, time, and energy for those who matter most. This is essential today when all of our emotional reserves are running on empty. Second, this text asks us to notice those whom we pass in the street and by the side of the road. They might hold up signs or hold out their hands. They might even be the ones that we don't readily see, our neighbors or those in the next town over. Don't you have a blessing for me, they ask? Don't you have enough to share? In the great legal compendium, the Mishnah Torah by the 12th century Rabbi Maimonides, in a section dealing with tzedakah, Maimonides expounds that if a poor man, unknown to anyone, comes forth and says, "I am hungry, give me something to eat," he should not be examined as to whether he might be deceiving us. He should be fed immediately. Maimonides suggests that people ought to have their basic needs met without having doubt cast upon them. Think about so many in our society, in our country, who go without having their basic needs met. Finally, this text asks us to think about the principle of what it even means to have enough. How do we know when we have enough? What becomes more than we need? Having enough is an attitude that we bring to the world. If I have enough, does this necessitate that there is not enough for you? From a Jewish perspective, this is not the case. God made the world to sustain all life. As the psalmist declares, God's hand is open, satiating the needs of all living things. There is enough, but humans determine how we manage the bounty of God's world and how we share the resources of this world throughout the planet. There is enough. Enough food, enough healthcare, enough education, enough for people to make a living wage. As a society, we need to find enough will, enough desire, so that bounty can be shared and dignity might increase. We read and reread Torah because it hones our sensitivity and our conscience. As we enter this Thanksgiving week, Parashat Toldot challenges us to see the people in our lives like Oliver Twist, bowls in hand, looking to us to help them feel full with the love that they need. Esau's cry reverberates in our ears, calling us to hear the cry of the needy in our world, asking us to help bless them, not with riches, just with enough. Shabbat Shalom.
I am reminded of the many, many gifts that our temple members offer to one another as we look to the week ahead. Certainly, Temple Beth David is blessed with an abundance and certainly enough and more so of blessing. You can learn Sunday morning. This will be the last class with Edie Sellis, Temple member, past president, on the deeper meaning of the Shema. Edie's been leading a journey of the Shema prayer, 6 simple words, but many interpretations kind of through time, and that will be at 11:45 this Sunday. We know many of our lay leaders are working hard to plan the Temple's 60th anniversary celebration on Saturday evening, December 5th. Through Zoom, so lots of information coming out about that,
and ways that you can give, because it's not just a celebration, but it's an opportunity for social action. With the social action committees, give 60 things you can give, 60 minutes you can give, something you can do to honor our synagogue and its mission and its longevity.
And special fund as well, honoring Cynthia and Harvey Atkins and all the founders of the Temple. Really a fund that is here to speak to the special needs of our times now and to build for the Temple's future. So a lot of ways to give. This Shabbat you can continue to celebrate in the morning at 9:00 a.m. with our lay-led Minyan, our Shabbat Chevra, who keeps Shabbat morning going. I think Avi Glazer will be leading tomorrow morning. And next Friday night, we hope you'll tune in for a special Thanksgiving Shabbat. We'll be weaving in some additional themes of blessing and especially gratitude. So that will be 6:30 p.m. next Friday night. We're going to... Iggy's ready to eat, so... We're going to move into our concluding prayers. You can find Aleinu on page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teikenu l'aliotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyeh ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We are going to take this time to remember loved ones who are no longer with us. We also want to acknowledge that today is the International Transgender Day of Remembrance, especially noting and acknowledging, remembering victims of transphobic violence. And we take this time to remember loved ones in our families and communities. I just want to acknowledge that every Shabbat, every week, we read many names on our Misha Berach list, our prayer for healing, and the Shabbat brings some of those names to our Kaddish list, and we know some of you out there are recent mourners, as recent as this week, and we especially hold you in our thoughts. We are remembering these loved ones who have passed away in recent weeks. For Shloshim, Das Wellens, mother of Bonnie Wellens, mother-in-law of John McNamara, and grandmother of Joseph. Greta Brun-Kessler, the niece of Cynthia and Harvey Atkins. Diane Altman, mother of Beth Marcus, mother-in-law of Scott, and grandmother of Allison and Rachel. Arnold S. Cohen, cousin of Mark Albion. And we remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit occur this Shabbat. Miriam Atkins, Susan Barkin, Anna Bloom, Morton Bornstein, Lawrence Kaplan, Leona Cohen, Gussie Fishman, Kurt Glazer, George Holliner, Stephen Kravitz, Sarah Lieber, Ruth London, Ida D. Marks, Barbara Popper, Bess Raskin, Ann Schwartz, Stanley Sherman, Goldie Burks, Louis Grossman. I invite you to name any other loved ones in your home or in your hearts. We'll join on page 294 in Kadisha Tome, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May their memories be for a blessing. Zichronam livracha. We are going to conclude with a last song and then join in the blessings of Kiddush and Motzi. Wanted to mention just one other way of giving this Sunday morning for our Shorashim outdoor session. It's going to be a little cold, so if you'd like to participate, you can bring a jacket. Our 3rd and 4th graders are going to participate in a modified version of SSH, our Sunday Sandwich Chevra. They're going to be let's just say making cereal boxes look very lively. And we are looking for some donations this Sunday morning of individually boxed cereal, so not the big boxes, but individual small boxes. If you'd like to drop any off, we would need that by, let's say, 10 o'clock. 9:45 would be even better, or 9:30. And actually, any adults out there, if you want to come help the kids, we're going to be, again, making the cereal boxes look look like gifts for people who need them through Father Bill's and Mainspring Shelter. So could use a few adult helping hands with gloves. You're going to have gloves. So that's going to be at 10 o'clock this Sunday. We do wish you a safe, Thanksgiving ahead. We know many are staying at home, and again, next Shabbat will overlap Shabbat and Thanksgiving. What are we concluding with, Rabbi Micah?
Adon Olam, page 321.
Say a classic.
Is that right? I was.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Hu Yitzir Nivra Ve'ein Asa B'chefso Kul Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kifot HaKol Ve'adon Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Ve'am Shilu Ve'hachbira Ve'li Reishit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'mizrach Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'mizrach Ve'hu V'li Ve'haydu Ali Ve'zor Levi Ve'et Sarah Ve'hu Nisi Umanu כוסלי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו הפקירותי בעת אישה בעירה והירותי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to invite you to turn back to page 5, and we'll invite you to lift a glass of the fruit of the vine of your choice, and we'll join in Kiddush for a joyful Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hichilanu zikaron l'maseh bereshit ki hu yom techila l'mikrae kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu b'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim. We hope you have some challah in your home. We'll join in the blessing for Motzi so that we can pray that none will go without, that we will all have enough to eat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating.